And while the future of gaming
Does not look great right now.
looks bleak, you know,
This just in. Sony is an asshole. Are we surprised, though? Did any of us see this coming? Oh, look, it's Schlib. He's coming back to join us on our channel.
hey everyone. So yeah, Sony surprised us all with forgetting that today is not April 1st, it's July 1st. And they're like, hey, you know all these physical games that you love? Well, say
Physical
goodbye
games.
to physical games.
Physical games. Physical games.
Seriously, Sony. This is why I like
Physical
Sony.
games.
This is... I don't know.
Also physical games. Old school games.
I
This
know-
is not my copy. I lost my copy.
I know I mostly focus on Nintendo Switch games, but hey, sometimes I want to play games on Sony.
I love Sony because I love the feeling of putting a nice disc in a system. If you remember the Wii era, Wii gave us discs. GameCube gave us smaller discs. Small little baby discs that would grow up one day to be a big daddy disc. This is gonna get edited out, by the way.
My first Sony system was this beautiful Vita over here that I got way after it ended support.
Really?
And
When was that?
I got it in 2019.
I got my first game console in the 90s because
Not
I'm
the
a
game
dinosaur.
console. This was my first Sony console.
Well, my first gaming console was one I had in the 90s. I got a little magical system called the Nintendo 64. Back when you put your cartridges in and you had to blow them sometimes to get them to work. And no, that is not supposed to be the way you think it is.
And I picked up a lot of games for the Vita with
Let's look at these.
the Danganronpa series,
Oh, they also had cartridges. That's really cute. Look at that.
another Danganronpa.
Here's another whatever that is.
This is the same game with the English and a Korean version because the Korean version had a steelbook.
You and your steelbook.
A game that introduced me to my greatest love, Trails of Cold Steel. The Jack and Dexter series, which I always wanted to try out. This Uncharted game, which, okay, I didn't like it as much as I thought. Another incredible Trails game. My
A game
first
that I
God
played
of War
on
game.
Switch that I loved and wanted in a better graphic
Persona
format.
Dancing, which apparently this has DLC, which we're going to lose now that they're shutting down the Vita shop as well. Gravity
Wait,
Rush,
the
which I heard
DLC is now no
incredible.
longer going to be available. Please say that again.
Yeah, they're shutting down the Vita store also, and so all
Oh
the
yeah,
DLC
if you didn't
for
realize,
that-
not only are physical things stopping, they're basically going to shut down digital things you may or may not already have access to.
Injustice, Sly 4, Ratchet and Clank, which I finally played, the Sly trilogy, which, okay, granted, I only finished this when it got ported to the PS5, at least the first game.
It was on my playlist. I never had a PlayStation growing up.
Persona 4 Golden. I also picked up Metal Gear, which I never ended up playing, but also another incredible series with the Zero Escape trilogy. Like, I played some awesome games on here, and then eventually...
Sony is like, fuck you. That's what Sony just said today. And no, again, it feels like it's April 1st, but it's actually July 1st. I don't have enough rage in my blood right now. Maybe I've calmed down a little bit since this morning, but I am livid. I got so excited about having a PlayStation because I missed the feeling of opening up. Oh, by the way, Ruffy, great game. Of opening up a game and pulling out the disc, admiring it, and then putting it in a system. I like that. Because adding space to a console and adding that peripheral looks fugly. Who wants to plug a USB-C thing into their phone, into their tablet to have more space? That doesn't look cool. And cloud downloads are not perfect. I've never had a good experience streaming games, and guess what? I don't think it's going to be perfect. And if it's not perfect and you're paying over $1,000 for the PS6 as rumors and leaks are suggesting, I don't want it. If I'm paying $1,000, I expect way more than $1,000. It's like you buy a Mac and you know exactly what you're getting. You buy a Sony system and you have no idea what they're going to do because they think you're a dumb little bitch who's going to take what they give us.
Also, when we're talking about, with Ruffy, for example, all these publishers that focus on publishing physical games for, smaller games. We got Ruffy, we have Stray from I Am 8-Bits.
We had a debut for Fool's Theory making Thaumaturge, which I played a demo and I was immediately hooked.
Published
And for a
by-
$40 game, they gave us way more content. And granted,
And
I haven't actually finished
the
more than the
fact that
demo. I
Sony-
loved it.
The fact that Sony's just like, it's not even that they're stopping to publish for their games. The fact that they're completely cutting off maybe the ability to make physical games. There are so many companies that give us awesome things. We have Merge Thaumaturge. We have Axis those games.
We have the
Microids.
Siberia games. Let's talk about Siberia, which
all
is a
these
game
smaller
series
publishers
that is coming back fully in a better format than the point-and-click adventure on PlayStation.
And we all know the real culprit for this is fucking Rockstar.
Literally, Rockstar can fuck right off. Anyone who's going to play not Sony, but anyone who's going to play GTA 6, please don't watch the rest of this video. I will not be playing GTA 6. They can still watch it. I will not be playing GTA 6 because I'm not playing a game that I don't own. All of these games are essentially data on a disk that copies to a system.
Not all of them, but
most of them. I said most of them.
Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a key disc.
But this is not a key disc. 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 And pretty sure this isn't a key disc, but this is Resident Evil Village with our favorite lady MILF that we all want to, get in bed with. Oh, also, not this either. I've just lost my ability to control myself right now.
And yes, while
Ubisoft is part of the problem, Ubisoft has been at least open about their choices.
The upside with the key disc is that you still have the secondhand market. You're still able to lend this to a friend. While only digital, it locks all that ability out.
And that's the other thing. Some of us don't want to fully buy a game if we're not sure on buying it. And not every game has a demo. And every game should have a demo now. If you can't let us physically lend games and buy a secondhand game and return it if we don't like it, we should have every single game having a demo. Now there is zero excuse. There is zero excuse for that. The whole idea of making a game that has DLC is if I, as a teacher, or me having students turn in an essay saying, oh, I finished the first 2 paragraphs, but I'll get them to you by the end of the quarter. No, dear, your grade is going to be an F because your assignment isn't finished. Games today really suck. Remember back when Zelda Twilight Princess came out? Everyone took a big fat steamy dump on that, but it was a great game. It was literally my first Wii game and I loved it. But the game that I will never hear anything ill about is Paper Mario The Thousand-Year Door. This is literally the single greatest game that ever existed, and oh my god, it was a physical game. The new edition of it on Switch is also a physical key cartridge, not a key cartridge. And at least with a key cartridge or a key disc, at least you have a physical thing and you just put it in. It's the very act of putting something in and hearing that sound that is so satisfying.
And while the future of gaming
does not look great right now.
Looks bleak, at least I have my massive Switch library to go through. I got some PlayStation stuff
we have a
I still
massive
go
Switch
through.
library.
And even the Switch 2 I'm buying a lot less.
I'm buying more for Switch 2. I'm finding Switch 2 offering some interesting things, and I don't see Nintendo saying something as asinine as what Sony said. Remember back in the day when Xbox released the Xbox One, and in an hour talked about TV, Netflix, sports, Halo films, TV series?
No, talking about the Xbox. Remember when Xbox One announced the way they were initially going to handle physical games, which limited you from sharing and selling, and Sony made fun of them for that. Sony made up promotions like, hey, here's how you share your game on PlayStation. Here you go.
Oh
now it's
God.
shared. Guess what, Sony? Where is that PS4 energy?
Sony, where was your PS3 energy? Where is your PS2 energy? When you, with PS2, arguably made, for many people, the greatest console of all time. I will still hold bar none that it will always be the GameCube, because I had my GameCube. I'm really seriously going to go back, rebuy most of my GameCube games that I no longer have because they somehow got lost or stolen, and rebuy all of the Wii games I had because I had so many fun Wii games. And I will never ever lose access to them, and I'm also going to make an effort to make sure they don't get damaged. But let's just unpack for a minute that Sony has discontinued the PS Vita, PS3 online store and everything, which is going to hinder access to DLC. And now they're basically saying, oh, all of this worthless. So I guess all of this could just, go right in the garbage. And these are games I haven't even opened yet because I've been so busy with my life. And now I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to not play video games. This is what it makes me feel like. This is what's so important to some of us. Some of us could be doing illicit drugs and substances. Some of us are playing video games. It's really your choice.
And I love my handhelds, and
I'm okay with handhelds.
2 PS Vitas. You can answer. You know the answer why I have 2. I have, even the PS Portal when it comes
I'm looking
to
at that.
streaming is, it is what it is. But the PS Vita is an incredible system and some great physicals and digitals and some good content that's just going to be lost to time.
And that's
Unfortunately,
unfortunate because
and-
this is a company that doesn't understand where it came from, it seems. Like, I had, at one point, my cousin's PS1, and I was so excited. Then my cousin got a PS2, and at the time, I got a Nintendo GameCube. And we ended up playing way more GameCube. And that's literally how I feel like, going back to the start, I guess I'm going to play more GameCube games.
So, meanwhile, we're just going to enjoy our physical games.
Well, we still have them and have
And-
access to them.
Hopefully Nintendo's going to keep us with physical for a long time coming. I know they still have their key cards, which sucks, but
It sucks, and that's a separate discussion in general, but at least Nintendo has been pretty pro-consumer and giving us a bone here and there.
I was reading something interesting the other day where when the Switch, in the first few months of the Switch, like the ratio to games versus key cards was a massive ratio, but now not half a year later, over a year into the Switch life cycle, it's, getting closer to half-half, which is nice to see that physical games are still doing strong.
But
And
some people...
I get, on that, I get the corporate,
Yeah.
people in their boardrooms are just be like...
I don't get corporate people in their boardrooms. Are any of them actually gamers? Let's address that. Are any people that are leading companies actually gamers? Because I venture to say no, they're not.
For their ratios, also Sony just, if you bought certain movies on PlayStation, you're just like, yeah, sorry, you can't watch those anymore.
How about a movie that you purchased and got yanked? Imagine watching one of the movies.
It happened to over 200 movies just now on Sony system.
Yeah, how about that? Again, that's why we also buy Blu-rays and 4K. Not only is the picture quality and audio so much better, it doesn't buffer. Who would have thought?
And remember, if buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing.
Not that we're suggesting it, but again, if you can't own something, piracy isn't stealing at all.
So let us know in the comments what you think about this whole fiasco, because hopefully Sony will switch courses, because they tried to shut down the Vita and PS3 stores.
There is
before.
enough outrage for that, and let's see if this outrage will save physical games right now.
Because, I didn't know where I was going to stand with the next Sony generation, but
I got excited because I only got into Sony because of the games that were available on PlayStation 5. I got excited about, like, Valhalla on PS5. I got excited about some of the games that I wanted to play finally now being able to be usable to me and getting a good Black Friday deal on a Sony PlayStation 5. I got so excited, and now I feel like I should just throw it in the garbage. Bye.
And on a personal level, with all this horrible news, I am going to be absolutely gutted that the rate things are going, the final game in my favorite series will not have the physical copy.
I'm just so fucking pissed off right now. And literally, on our channel, you've literally heard us say, fuck Sony, fuck PlayStation. Well, once again, fuck Sony and fuck PlayStation. Literally, fuck Sony and PlayStation. I have lost ability to be polite and reticent about this. I just, as a gamer, I feel like someone spat in my face and said, that's okay, you're going to be okay with it. Because you don't get to
You will own nothing and be happy about it.
Yeah, no. If I go to a bookstore and I buy a book, that book will always be available. If I go to a furniture store and buy a piece of furniture, that furniture will always be available to me, provided I don't have to replace it. It's like, why would I rent furniture? Why would I rent a book? It's like, imagine all of the games you're playing right now, even if you're not going to play them again, imagine if you wanted to play them again 4 years from now and suddenly that was yanked from your library. How would you feel? And you don't get your money back, but you should damn well get your money back. We recently had an issue with our PlayStation Plus membership lapsing, and now I'm thinking to myself, do I even care to renew it? No, I don't care to renew it. Why should I fucking renew it when a company that I was happy to start being a part of and paying into suddenly treats us as a gamer like
And
this?
even if we don't, we have so many games we still have to play.
I mean, yeah, we have so much to do.
I mean, I have the physical for Miles Morales, which I recently just finished. I was planning on playing Spider-Man 2 via the subscription, but now, when I'm ready for it, I'll just grab the physical, because, that's what I was probably going to do anyway.
Well, I greatly prefer physical anyway, because there's just something, again, nice about putting a disc or a cartridge in.
I just focus my collection more on the Switch
And
side
again,
than the Sony side.
I'm going to go collect more Wii games. This is your copy. You bought this. I had my copy. Don't know where my copy went. And again, this is your copy. My original copy went missing, but I'm collecting all the old GameCube games. GameCube was a great era. Games were finished. As I'll say again, you don't just sell a game that is incomplete and needs DLC to complete the game
Yeah, you do.
and requires microtransactions.
Yeah, you do.
That's like saying, like a student telling me, "Oh yeah, for Training to Send every week, I'm going to add a little more to my essay." No, the deadline was yesterday. You're getting an F on it, and
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
I think we've done enough ranting for now.
We've done enough ranting, and maybe we'll calm down tomorrow. Probably fucking not. But if you honestly feel as unjustly done as we do, make a video, tweet about it, petition about it, write angry emails. Don't do anything you're going to regret or is legally not okay. But make your voice heard, legitimately.
Meanwhile,
go and fucking do it.
Thank you, Nintendo, for still sticking with physical games, and I'm going to go play my new Nintendo game
Thank you,
now.
Nintendo, for existing
Bye,
back
Sony.
in the 2000s when this came out. Bye.